Okay, hello everyone. We are from Group 2 Computer Science, and today we are going to give a brief explanation about Control Processing Unit. We are from Group 2, and in this team there is Cahya Bintang, Christina Marischa, me, Davin Pandya, and then Dewandaru Dorojatun, and the last is Dewi Nur Rahma. We gather our information from source such as, before this slide. We gather our information from sources such as Wikipedia, turbofuture.com, Merriam-Webster, and study.com. So CPU, what CPU is? So CPU is electronic circuitry that executes instructions comprising a computer program. The CPU performs basic arithmetic, logic, controlling, and input-output operation specified by the instruction in the program.
As Davin mentioned, the CPU is similar to the human brain. Every single operations that you do with your computer is processed in the CPU. The performance of your computer is based on simple mathematical operations, and the CPU is the device that controls all of those operations. So we go to the four primary functions of the CPU. The CPU processes instructions it receives in the process of decoding data. In processing this data, the CPU performs four basic steps. First of all, fetch. Its instruction is stored in memory and has its own address. The processor takes this address number from the program counter, which is responsible for tracking which instructions the CPU should execute next. The second one, decode. All programs to be executed are translated into assembly instructions. Assembly code must be decoded into binary instructions which are understandable to your CPU. This step is called decoding. Third one, execute. While executing instructions, the CPU can do one of three things: do calculation with its ALU or arithmetic logic unit, move data from one memory location to another, or jump to a different address. The last one, store. The CPU must give feedback after executing on instructions, and the output data is written to the memory. We can go to the next slide.
Now we are going to about process of CPU. At the time a program will be executed or processed on the hard disk will be taken and put into RAM. Control unit distinguish instruction and data. Instructions are placed in the program storage. Furthermore, the instruction and data are taken by the control unit and stored in the register. If the instruction is a logical or arithmetical calculation, it is taken to the ALU and the result will be stored in the accumulator, and the control unit will take it and bring it back to the RAM.
Control unit. The control unit is one part of the CPU whose job is to provide direction or control over the operation performed in the ALU section of the CPU. Arithmetic logic unit or ALU. Arithmetic logical unit or ALU is one part or component is a computer system whose job is to perform operation, especially those related to arithmetic and logic.
Memory Address Register (MIR). Memory Address Register (MIR) is the CPU register that either stores the memory address from which data will be fetched to the CPU, or the